think we're good.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to UKSG Winter 2021. My name is Ulvind, and with me will be our very own Viper, the Thebpg13, doing Driver 2, Complete Chicago category. Viper, take it away.
Okay, so I will keep this very short and we'll jump straight into the category and everything like that. But for those who don't know, hello, I'm Viper, also known as the BPG13 on my Twitch. And yeah, this is Driver 2. This is actually a different version. This is called REDRIVER 2 or REDRIVER 2 if you want to give it if you want to say it all in one go. This is an open source PC project that was made of the Driver 2 game using some clever backwards compatible engineering made by a guy called Soapy. So thanks to him, we actually get to play the entire Driver 2 game on PC. A few major little things to do, but I'll get into the category first and I'll get explaining some of the things about the game. So if ready on time, I'll give you a countdown from 5, 4, 3, I can't do it with my fingers then, 2, 1, and go. Okay. So to kind of explain a few things, now I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what Driver 2 is, but if you don't, it was the sequel to the original Driver game that released in 2000. Now immediately you're going to notice a few changes. Now this isn't your usual Driver 2 game, so there's actually, as I said before, this is an open source project, so it's got quite a few differences compared to the original. First things first, it plays in HD. Yes, you can actually see it, it's in HD. So this is basically upscaled graphics and things like that. This is similar, if not better, than what a PlayStation 1 emulator such as UKSG, Binafen, or anything like that would put up. Another thing you'll notice is smooth frame rate. We're capped at a nice smooth 30 frames per second. It's very consistent. Don't have any problems there. Another few other things to mention, like I said, there's a lot to mention, so I'll kind of be brief about it, is that we do have a feature to skip cutscenes. Now this is something that wasn't present in the original Driver 2 game, because in-game cutscenes, being like they are, you can't skip them. So it was a case of you could skip through in-game movie cutscenes, so FMVs I believe they're called. You could actually skip those, but in terms of the in-game cutscenes, you couldn't skip them. And lastly, last but not least, actually two more things. I'll mention one of them right away, is that we have a lowered cop difficulty. Actually, I keep thinking of all things that's to do with this game, so get in that car, there we go, good stuff. You'll notice as well that there's a save in progress.
He's making a move.
So we can skip in-game cutscenes, as you can see. The other things that I need to mention is we have an autosave system. So you may remember that Driver 1, or the original Driver games on the PlayStation 1, they had no autosave feature. Autosave wasn't really a thing in the Driver games, the early ones anyway. And you had to save manually. Now in this open source project release, an autosave feature is enabled by default, meaning that when you complete a mission, the game automatically saves, and there you go. That's pretty much that. We do also have the option of custom replays. Now, for those that don't know what a custom replay is, so in certain missions, the car that you are chasing or are following will have a AI routing that they've got to they've got to follow. So what's happened is, thanks to the Drive community, so guys like Vortex, Olenov, Racing Freak, and a few other guys, they've actually created their own routes themselves, and this allows for, basically, rather than you follow the original car routes, which is still a thing in this game, you can still follow the original, that you can actually follow custom-made ones made by the Drive community, which is pretty awesome. Currently, in terms of speedruns, these custom routes aren't allowed yet. I have got them on it for this particular run, just to show it off if they happen to come up. There is a chance that they might not show, which is fine anyway. So basically, you get the original Driver routes, that sort of thing. So that's kind of everything there is to explain about REDRIVER 2, or REDRIVER 2 to give it its name. You can announce it whichever way you like, but like I say, it's an open source PC project. This is a free open source project as well, so if you do want to download this game and give it a try, it is free. Thankfully, like I said, thanks to Soapy and the Driver Madness Discord for making this a reality. For those that aren't really aware of what this actually means, the original Driver 2 game suffered horrendously with consistent frame rate, performance issues, and many other things as well. A few glitches were patched in the modern version, but most of what made the original game so great is still in this version, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, like I said, it's a very awesome feature, very cool, and would definitely recommend it for those that are interested in, in playing this game for themselves. So, like I said, we get to skip in-game cutscenes. So we have the FMVs that we can skip, but then there's like little cutscenes like this that we can skip. And as well, to mention a couple other things, so we have in-game subtitles, which weren't a thing apart from the FMVs. So in-game cutscenes now have subtitles, which is amazing. Not only that, it's not just available in English as well, thanks to what the community has done. They've managed to translate the languages into French, Spanish, German, Italian, I believe. I'm not sure about Russian, Polish, but possibly it might be something for the future. I'm not sure. So obviously, that's to like bring you up to scratch with everything that's going on with this project and this game as a whole. For those that are a bit curious as to like what's actually been going on, so I haven't really explained the category, but the category is called Complete Chicago. It's basically where you have to beat the entire first city in the game, which is Chicago. You have to beat all 8 missions, and warping is not allowed. Now, there is a warping category for this. This is warpless and warping. The main difference between the two is that we use a main menu trick, which was found by a guy called Coops. You may, if you've seen me run Driver 2 before, you may remember me mention about this menu trick, especially when I did the game last summer, I think it was.
Hang back.
So, we've got the fastest route, which is Ace. But yeah, basically that cuts like a good couple of minutes out of the game, quite a bit actually. So in Chicago actually allows us to experience a couple of things. So you've got your typical A to B, get to this person or get to this place with no police tail on you. But in the game primarily, the game doesn't actually inform you about the police as like that early on. So, for example, when you do the first mission, which is Surveillance Tip-Off, I couldn't remember the name of it then. When you do Surveillance Tip-Off, what you've got to do is you just got to get from A to B. Chase the witness, or tail the witness, or whatever it's called. You basically just have to follow another car, but you have to keep up with it. So it's like a high-speed chase, so to speak. Not a lot happens, but yeah, it's like a high-speed chase. So that's that one. Tailing the drop is... Sorry, Train Pursuit is all about getting from A to B whilst following an objective. Tailing the drop is basically follow a car with a proximity bar on it and make sure that nothing bad happens to it. Escape to the safe house, which is, as you can see, the 5th mission. This is basically where you get your first taste of police. One other thing as well, whilst we're on the subject of police, is that... Oh dear. Make sure I don't get hit too badly. That's fine. Nasty cops. Ugh. As I was saying, so with the police and with this project being like it is, so the easy, medium and hard difficulties for cop difficulty have actually been tweaked slightly. So if you play the medium difficulty on this game, the cops are the same difficulty as the easy difficulty from the original game. So the easy difficulty on this, which is the one we're playing on, the easy cop difficulty has actually been turned down, so they're not as aggressive and stuff like that. So by now on this mission, I probably would have been smashed to absolute pieces by the police, which obviously, as you can tell, is not something we want. Also, as we get close to this safe house, we get a police roadblock here, which we're going to dodge, and the police tend to just lose them, like, where did he go? As you can see. It's like, where did he go? So, that's that one done. And now we move on to Chase the Intruder. Now this was the one I mentioned, and did we get... Oh, we didn't get a custom one. Damn. I was going to say, ideally want a custom getaway if we could. I wanted to show that off. But basically this AI we're chasing is one of several AI in this game that has a replay which can actually be edited. So in the original Driver 2 game, obviously the AI took different routes. And in this game, as you can already tell, that the AI is going to be taking a random route every single time. But obviously, as I mentioned, you also have these custom replays as well. So, like I said, the long story short is that this could actually be one of the guys, like I said, Vortex, Snoopy, Olenov, for example. One of these guys could have their custom chases, their custom replays added into the AI. And basically what that allows us to do is we can just do this mission and yeah, nothing else. You know, no one's any the wiser. Now some of these chases are actually broken. So I'm just going to hope that this one isn't a broken chase. So because of the game being, you could say like a remaster in a way. But because of the game being like it is, you obviously get AI that will go down the wrong path and can easily mess itself up, which is obviously something that we don't want to happen. So, in the original game, what we want to do is we want to try and get ahead of Jericho. Now, there's two ways we can do this, but what we will do is, he's going to turn right here, like that. If we come down here, if we're fast enough, we can get to here before he does. And if you go there, you can actually activate the cutscene a lot faster as well, which is pretty nice. So, what's happened in that cutscene, I'll quickly explain as I'm doing the mission. So, in that cutscene, we've met a guy, he's called Solomon Kane, and this is his compound. He wanted to know why we chased his henchman. His henchman is called Jericho. Now, Jericho got a much bigger emphasis as a villain in the Driver series compared to some of the other villains. So we basically meet Solomon Kane and we meet his henchman Jericho. And Jericho is usually wielding a double-barreled shotgun behind our back. Basically says, right, you ain't going anywhere, I've got you. You know, got the shotgun behind the back of your head, don't move or I'll kill you. So, because of this, it means that we had to in the cutscene, Tanner hits Jericho in the face. And what ends up happening is he batters his way, hits Jericho in the face, like I said, he has a shotgun, and then goes into the compound and locks himself in. So it's our job to escape from the compound. Now, as you can already tell, we've already escaped through like half the compound. You're like, wait a minute, Viper, the destination point is back there. Why are you going this way? Well, that's because back that way actually has a truck blocking you in. So you ideally don't want the truck. Also, this van will chase you. Now there is actually a faster way to do this mission, and the faster way being, when you first activate this truck, he can actually push you through, providing he pushes you hard enough. He can actually push you, like clip you and push you through the barriers. So obviously, you could like that. It would make this mission a lot faster. But it is what it is. It's fine. We're going to lose him, hopefully. Nice. And that brings us on to the last mission. So basically what's happened now is that because we've escaped from Kane's compound, Tanner's now got back to his apartment, and Jones has said, what's happening with Lenny? It's like, well, basically, Lenny's heading for Havana, so we need to get to a train station. Last I heard, it was to a train station. So Jones has supposedly stirred up a heap of trouble in Chicago with a bunch of Brazilian guys who are under the gang of a guy called Vasquez. Now, Vasquez is one of two main villains in this game. Three, actually. One of three main villains. So, out of the three main villains, you've got Vasquez, you've got Jericho, and you've got Kane. Now, Kane and Vasquez are basically two, should we say, criminal pinheads, in the underworld. and they both got, I think it's involved with like the drug business or something, but basically a guy is shot in a bar, they have a witness, and they're fighting to get this guy called Pink Lenny, who's in the middle of this, should we say, firefight. But yeah, there's not really much else to say. Jericho is just Kane's henchman, but he has a significant plot in the story because it's a case of when we need information, we need Jericho. So it is a case of, it is what it is. Also, for this mission's not too difficult. It's just kind of get from A to B, get Jones to a train station, whilst being chased by Vasquez's henchmen. And I will say as well, for those that are on tech, that time will be coming up in about, I want to say about 30-ish seconds or so, but I'll give you a mention when it is. So for the most part now, all we've got to do is just drive straight because we want to get onto this road here. And yeah, and then time will be when we get, like I said, time will be when we get to the end. So it'll be as soon as the mission complete cutscene appears. It should be fine. So I'm having pretty decent luck with these AI right now, that's pretty nice. And come on, nearly there. Also, the closer you get to the train station, the quicker the cutscene will appear. And time. So I think that was, according to my splits, a 15:25.
Yes, it seems
26.
like it's a 15:25. It splits slightly late on the side of tech. It's 15:25, 15:26.
Yeah, right about there. I'm not sure if it's like a second out, but yeah, that's complete Chicago. There is categories for Havana, Vegas, and Rio, the other cities in the game. Like I said, if you were a fan of Driver, or Driver 2 even, and hated the slow frame rate and the agonizingly painful frame rate, give Red River 2. You can find it if you type it on Google, it should come up. It's also in the Driver Madness Discord as well. And it's also in the Driver Speedrun community Discord as well. So there's one wherever you can find it. It's quite easy to find. If you do need any help, don't forget to, I said, obviously you can always ask the community or myself. Happy to help with anybody that needs help with setting this up. But that's going to be all from Driver 2. I'm going to hand it back over to intermission. And yeah, I'll see you guys very shortly.